Gold and Blue Dude here with you again, and today it's time to talk about Michigan. I'm going to do a quick schedule preview and let's see how this goes. This should be interesting. So the first thing we talk about, of course, is Jim Harbaugh. Last year he went 9-4 at Michigan. Overall he is 47-18, but the big record is 0-5 against Ohio State. He just cannot beat the Buckeyes. So let's look at the offense real quick. Quarterback Shea Patterson is gone, so Dylan McCaffrey and Joe Milton are going to be battling for that position. Now, McCaffrey is the better runner, and Milton is the better passer. Do I smell a two-quarterback situation? Possibly. But, I say until the O-line gels a little bit, maybe McCaffrey gets the nod because 4 out of the last year's 5 starters will be gone. So there'll be a lot of shuffling, a lot of gelling. So the Wolverines do have a pair of experienced and talented running backs coming back. They have Hassan Haskins. Last year he rushed for 622 yards, 4 touchdowns, and averaged 5.1 yards a carry. They also have running back Zach Charbonnet. He rushed for 726 yards, 11 touchdowns, and averaged 4.9 yards a carry. So I'll give that area, the rushing, a B+. So whoever ends up throwing the ball, they'll have Nico Collins back. He had 37 receptions for 729 yards and 7 touchdowns. They also have Ronnie Bell. He had 48 receptions for 758 yards and 1 touchdown. And Gals Jackson, 9 receptions, 142 yards and 1 touchdown. So a decent core of receivers. So overall, for the receivers, I'll say a B-. And for the offense, I'll give them an overall of C+. And that's because of the O-line, 4 out of 5 starters gone, and uncertainty at quarterback. So let's talk about the defense real quick. Well, last year the defense was actually pretty good, giving up an average of 20.7 points per game. So a good defensive line will be back, including Kwity Paye. By himself, he had 26 tackles. That's solo, 50 altogether, and 6.5 sacks. They also get defensive lineman Aiden Hutchinson. He had 34 tackles by himself, 68 altogether, 4.5 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. To go along with him is Carlo Kemp, 15 tackles by himself, 40 altogether, and 2 sacks. And they also have good depth with Mazie Smith and Chris Hinton fitting the rotation. So the D-line, I'll give a B+. Now at linebacker position, Michigan should be fine in that area. Cameron McGrone comes back. 38 tackles by himself, 66 altogether, 4 sacks, and 1 forced fumble. Also, Josh Ross will be coming back from an injury. And sophomore Michael Barrett will be stepping up into the starting position in linebacker. I will say losing linebacker Khaleke Hudson will hurt a little. So for the linebackers, I'll give them a C+. Now, the secondary also returns some talent. They have quarterback Ambry Thomas. Last year, he had 30 tackles by himself, 38 altogether, 3 interceptions, and 3 pass deflections. But it's the safeties that really show out for Michigan. They will have safety Brad Hawkins. He had 30 tackles by himself, 53 altogether, and 1 pass deflection. Also, Daxton Hill, 25 tackles by himself, 36 altogether, 1 interception, and 3 pass deflections. So I give the DBs or secondary a solid B, and overall I'll give the defense a solid B. So the defense looks like they'll be pretty decent in 2020. So let's talk about Michigan's heaven and hell scenarios. This is where I talk about worst case scenario, best case scenario. So for the heaven scenario, I will say a 2-quarterback system turns out to work perfectly for Jim Harbaugh. And the running backs produce efficiently, and the defense holds up well against opposing quarterbacks. Michigan goes 11-1 and finally beats Ohio State and goes to the Big Ten championship. Hell scenario. Neither quarterback can get into rhythm. The O-line allows too many sacks. The defense wears out, but because it's on the field too much. Michigan goes 8-4 loses to Ohio State again, and Jim Harbaugh's coaching seat is on fire. So, what's my prediction? Well, the gold and blue new prediction is this. Michigan will be good enough to beat who they're supposed to beat. However, against quality opponents, the inexperience at O-line and quarterback position will show. Now, I do think the defense will do its part, but won't be able to cover up the deficiencies on offense. So I'm going to look through their schedule, give you wins and losses, and we will see what their record is. So, to start out the year, they go to Husky Stadium at Washington. I'm going to say a loss. Then they get Ball State at home. This is a 4 stretch of home games. Ball State at home, win. Arkansas State at home, win. Wisconsin at home, tricky, but win. Penn State at home, I think that's going to be a loss. Penn State's going to be good this year. At Michigan State, win. At Minnesota, not the same Minnesota from last year, win for Michigan. Purdue at home, win. Maryland at home, win. At Rutgers, win. Indiana at home, win. And then at Ohio State, loss. I think Michigan loses to Ohio State again at the end of the season. They finish the season 9-3, which doesn't seem too bad, but that puts Jim Harbaugh at 0-6 against Michigan State. And his coaching seat is turned on scorching. Jim Harbaugh could possibly be looking for a new job at the end of the 2020-21 season. That's all I got for you today. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you on the next prediction.